Hi, it's Judy. Welcome back to my channel. We're in my dining room again, so a little bit of a hodgepodge of a mix-up here. Today I thought I would do a small review of a very inexpensive product that I came across. When we buy into the whole digital cutting thing, we spend a huge amount of money on a machine, and then suddenly we come across all of the things that we're going to use in it. This big huge rabbit hole of materials opens up to us. And we jump down it and oh my god, it gets so expensive. Yesterday I just happened to be in one of the Range shops, and the Range is a kind of a hodgepodge of stuff. They do all sorts of things: furniture, arts and crafts, frames, food, just it's all the stuff that you might need but might not need, and they do it all at fairly reasonable prices. And they do some good stuff. They do some name brands. So they have things like the X-Cut glass mats in their craft section. They've got some very nice picture frames that are fairly good quality, but for, you know, £3 or £4, and you can always go in and find a bargain. Well, while I was in there yesterday, I came across this thing called self-adhesive paper, and it's glitter paper. It's got quite a nice little shimmer to it, and they were doing them 2 rolls for £2, and I thought, okay, well, let's have a look and see what they like. So they had 2 different brands there. The first brand that they had was called Sparkle Adhesive Craft Paper, and that's the silver one. And then the other brand they had was Adhesive Craft Roll, and that's the pink one. Now, they seem to be fairly much the same product. They seem to be about the same thickness. The backing paper is slightly thinner on the silver than it is on the pink, but the glitter paper itself seems to be a fairly similar thickness. The pink doesn't have any lines marked on the back of it, but the silver does, and it's in 2 centimetre increments. There you go. So you can size things easily. Obviously you need to measure with the pink one. See, nothing on the back of it. Have to try and get it underneath the camera. So I thought that I would show you, try it out, see what it's like, see what it does, see if it performs reasonably well. So I have uploaded a quick design to my Brother Scan and Cut, and I'm just going to get on and cut the design out of the glitter. I'll show you how I weed it, and then we can have a look at it and see how it performs once I put it onto something. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I will try and talk you through this as much as I can. I have my 12 by 24 cutting mat here, and I'm going to put the pink onto the mat. I've basically cut the roll in half, or about half, and I've cut it in half lengthways, and then I've also cut it in half widthways. And then I'm going to take my scrapey tool and flatten that out as much as I can. Right, so if I bring this down so that you can see, I've got the cut settings on the screen where you can see them. I've set the cut pressure to -5. I've put the cut speed down as low as I possibly can. I've told it that my mat is a 24-inch mat, and I've set my blade size to around about 2.5. And actually that was a little too deep, so I'm just going to reduce it down to just above 2. Okay, put that back in the machine. Okay. Just going to scan it so that I know where the material is. Right, and I'll tilt the screen so that you can see it. So I hope you can see that. So I can move this down a bit so that I'm sure that it's on the materials. See if I can zoom in. Because I've scanned in the material, I can see that the design is not going over the edge of the material. Same with this one. And in fact, what I can do with that one is I can move it just a little bit to the left. And we can see that I'm not exceeding the edge of the material. I think I'll take that back a notch though, just to be on the safe side. So we're going to say okay to that, and okay to that, and okay to that. And now that we're ready to go, I'm going to do cut. It's going to take about 4 minutes, which I will speed you through. Okay, that's it cut. Now, if you'll just let me get everything repositioned, I'll go on and show you the rest of what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm just going to cut off some of the excess material because it will make it easier to handle it. So just by following the cut lines I can see, taking off the extra material. And now I'm going to cut the two lines of text away from each other. It says Genevieve's storage box, for those of you who are wondering. Now I'm using the Tim Holtz Tonic Studios glass cutting mat, and if you're interested to see a comparison review of this glass cutting mat with the Tonic A3 glass cutting mat, please keep a lookout for that video. If I've already put it out by now, I will link it and put a little icon up in the corner so that you can click on it and watch it later. Box B in between storage and box, and there we go. Now I find it best to weed my words backwards because the English language seems to be mostly made up of letters that kind of face that way. So all the little niggly bits are the ones that face that way. So just lift up that. Right, so the settings for this material on my Scan and Cut with a blade that isn't too stupidly old are cut speed 1. I cut nearly everything at 1. Cut pressure -6, although I have to say I probably should have gone to -5. It looks as though -5 probably would have been enough. And my blade depth was set to 2.5. Yeah, so you might want to do a pressure of -5 or possibly even -4 for this. It seems to be the silver cut out at -5 without any problems. And this is where you should do what I say, not do what I do, and always do a test cut. Although I have to say, sometimes the test cuts don't work for me because cutting out a little block that is yay big is completely different from cutting out a huge design. So sometimes I can do a test cut and it'll be exactly what I'm looking for. And then I run it on the machine and my design doesn't cut out correctly. So there we go. We've got the first word. Okay, I'm just going to show you how I'm going to repair this T. What I'm just going to do is I'm going to lift this all back up off the paper. And this will all flatten back down. There we go. And I can see where the vinyl has cut through. So I lift off the bits where it's cut through. Not the vinyl, paper. See, I'm used to cutting vinyl for this. There we go. Take my knife and just gently score along there. Once that's in place, I will challenge anyone to find it. And if it's a real problem, I actually have another cutout that I did here and I can swap the tea out for that. So if it bothers me, you can always just swap out. I can always just swap out the letter that didn't work properly. If you get to the point where you've got too much waste getting in the way, just take your knife and very gently cut the waste away, trying not to cut any of the letters that you're currently working on. And note to self, give your child a nice short name. At this point I'd be quite happy to go for Kim, or how about just It? There we go. So I've got the same thing cut out in silver. And in pink. Okay, so I have a sheet of transfer paper, and we're just going to start with the first word. This is where I find the glass mat quite useful, because the transfer tape will stick to the glass mat quite nicely. And get a nice, good quality contact. Right, so let's see if I can actually show you this without the crate being too big for you to actually see anything. Right, so here I have, this is a crate from IKEA, which I have painted using their blue stain. So let's peel off the backing. Oh, okay. This is going to be fun. Looks as though getting the glitter to stick to the transfer tape might be a bit tricky. So let's try with the pink first. Nope, we're on this. We're committed to the silver. I don't know if you can see, if it's showing up on camera, it's difficult to tell. But I can see the letters adhering to the transfer tape as I use the squeegee to stick them down. So I'm hoping that this is working. Aha. We have possible liftoff. Okay. Okay, let's see if I can get this to stick onto the crate. Okay, so verdict. There's a reason why it's cheap. It's probably not suitable for what I'm doing with it. And I think probably what I'll have to do when I'm done with this is I'm probably going to have to seal it with some sort of spray varnish, because I don't think these letters will stay in place for very long. They are not striking me as being exceedingly self-adhesive. And some of the glitter is peeling off the letters and onto the transfer tape. Still, they look pretty. I'll finish this silver, and then I'll do probably the pink box on the other side, so that you can get a feel for how the two differing papers perform. Okay, I'm just using the rubber side of this tool, the Tim Holtz toolkit, to just smooth everything, kind of alternating between the two sides. Right, that's going to go that way, so. Here's my pokey tool. You want to try and keep your fingers as far away from the adhesive as you can, because you carry oils on your fingers even when they're at their cleanest. Your fingers have oils on them, and that can interfere with the adhesive. Glitter side's fine. Just try not to touch the back of the letters. Yeah, I can already feel that they're not adhering brilliantly. But they're not bad. Okay. And what I'll do is I'll do the box on this side. Use the same transfer tape. Use your transfer tape as much as you possibly can, basically until everything stops sticking. or until you rip through your transfer tape like I just did. Okay, just out of curiosity, let's see if storage works better. This stuff sticks to itself really well. Okay, so we have to do a little bit of cleaning up. First cleaning up to do is to get this N on, if I haven't already destroyed it. There we go. Okay, and then it is to go over start. If you've got two letters that are joined together, so like here I've got the G and the E are joined together, so I'm going to start where they join, and then where's my tricky tool? And then when I get round to this wrinkle here, just gently prise up the letter and then slowly work it back down the letter. Okay, so there we go. Lift up. Okay, I'm going to finish the silver side off camera. I have some slightly stickier transfer tape that I'm going to use for this, in the hope that it will perform a little bit better. And then when I'm done, I will come back and show you the finished project. Okay, there it is, folks. All done and dusted. The silver was an absolute pain to put on. The pink went on quite well, but the silver just wasn't sticking to any of the transfer tapes that I have. So I guess that's what you get for using something that's not really designed for this purpose. I will probably need to go over it with a coat of varnish in order to hold it in place, because there are some places where I can already see it lifting. I'll turn it over for you and show you the pink side. And there's the pink side. I think the pink behaved better. It was easier to put on. It's slightly thicker than the silver, and the backing paper is also slightly thicker. Okay, so that's my review of the 2 for £2 rolls of self-adhesive glitter paper from the range. If you found that video useful, then please give it a thumbs up, a like, please subscribe, please share, and I'd love to hear any comments that you have. If there's anything else that I could show you with the Scan and Cut, I'm still learning it, but I'm learning very rapidly what works and what doesn't work. So I will be, probably my next Scan and Cut video, I have had a commission to produce 50 heat transfer t-shirts. So I might do a kind of a time lapse of that and see how that goes. If you think that would be interesting, then please give this a thumbs up so that I know to go ahead and film that. Okay, I hope you have a lovely day. Please find something that you can do for you that makes you happy, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care. Bye.